Recording.
Can we prop it? Awesome! Okay, hey!
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so technical difficulties, only a couple of minutes late, so that's not too bad. And we've got to try and see if we can get this phone to sit up for us.
All right. Looks like I'm just going to hold it. Hey, guys. All good here. Okay, so hello, welcome to Eat and Greet.
Yes.
This is like the third week for Eat and Greet, right? So we're kind of babies.
Very cool.
Yeah, and we're really excited because Trudi has actually kindly agreed to come and chat to us about all of her spectacularness.
Oh, okay. No pressure.
Yes. Trudi Sparkles, we would like to learn all about those and how they... Cool. Do you want to... Yeah, perfect. And yeah, I'm interested to actually know how the word sparkles came about.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shall we start with that?
Yes. So let's start with who is Trudi?
Who is Trudi? Well, Trudi grew up in the country. Trudi's 42, so 42 is the meaning of life. So this is Trudi's year to really make a difference in the world. Trudi has gone, look at me talking about myself in third person. I really need to stop that. It's a disassociation thing I used to do when I had serious mental health issues. I did actually used to have serious mental health issues. So yes, I've overcome a lot of serious mental health issues. Oh, how did we get onto that so quickly? And so I have always probably been the black sheep, the little rebel, the one to go against the grain, hate being told what to do, which my teachers didn't like, but then that sort of gives me the space to be a little bit different and think outside that proverbial square box thing that people like to put other people in. The sparkles, now sparkles isn't just because of my sparkling personality, although that has to be a part. Before I started my own business and I was working in retail, so many of you might remember the brand called Diva. So I worked for Diva when they launched their first store in Chadstone, 12, 13, 14 years ago. I was the store manager, and I ended up becoming like an area manager for them. And so to take advantage of career progression, I moved from Melbourne to Adelaide for 6 months. And my housemate at the time, so one of the things was, we always had to buy the product. We had to wear the new stuff. So after like 2 months there, I had boxes and bags and huge amounts of jewellery because we were expected in our role to buy at least 10 to 12 pieces a week. Wow. And I only have 2 earring holes in my ear and can only fit so many rings on my hand, and they would have loved us to wear bracelets all the way up our arms. But so my housemate came in one day and I had all my jewellery all over the bed, and she's like, I've never seen so many sparkles in all my life. And then it became my name. So my mum calls me Sparkles. My friends from the last 10, 12 years all call me Sparkles. And I really adopted that at one point, and then decided, just some things happened in my life where I didn't really feel like Sparkles anymore. And, life got me down for a while. So I kind of stepped away from it. But now I'm back. And all my friends call me Sparkles. So all you smart chicks, please feel free to call me Sparkles if you do so wish, because we're all friends here. So that's the story of Sparkles. So
I like that story.
It's a good story.
I still have so much jewellery. See, sparkly necklace on. So yeah, but I love it. I think it actually sums up who I am quite nicely. So yeah.
Oh, that's good. Now, okay, so that really is. Now, okay, there's a little bit more to you. Now, you haven't actually, for those of you who don't know, Trudi and I have never actually spoken like this before. Kirsty and Trudi speak all the time.
Yeah.
But that I remember. That's really awkward if we actually have.
No, we haven't. Anyway. We've chatted a few times online, but nothing so connected.
Yeah.
Now, the other part of you, from what I can see, is your amazing ability to do a bit of, well, I'm not going to say cosplay, but I am going to say dress-ups.
Dress-ups. All right. Okay, there's a story behind this as well. Okay, look, I live a lot of time in my head and in my imagination, and I always have. Like, I used to climb trees as a child and used to pretend I was the sugar plum fairy, and I rode in the Olympics on my imaginary horse, jumping over brooms, and I've always had a really active imagination. It's that disassociation thing. Sometimes it's been a good thing, sometimes maybe not, but just being able to step into a different space. And in my former business working with youth, one of the big things, and I used to do a lot of theatre, and I used to be a competitive ballroom dancer, and all of those things that step you into this different framework of different space of being. And in my last business, and even what I'm planning to do in the future in my work, is stepping into different archetypes and different characters, and speaking and facilitating and training from different viewpoints that you get from all these characters. I have probably about 40 different personalities packed up in boxes in my garage with, I've got 2 rock stars, I've got a rapper, I've got a scientist, I've got a ringmaster who manages a circus, I've been an army general, a fairy, like a court jester, all different stuff. I have a beautiful big red ball gown for my majesty, for my queen. So, I know, I'm just like, I'm itching for somewhere where I can just wear that dress because it's beautiful. But it gives me this ability, because if I was training and teaching people from the perspective of me, I'm me and I've only lived my life. But if I can step into the joyful being of a fairy, or the commanding tones of a general, and when I need to be the leader, like being able to move between all of these different characters. Like when you're speaking, like for anyone who's gone to a concert, when the rock star comes out and they're like, they own the stage. They know that everyone is there to see them. And I am so rock star right now because you're all here to hear me speak and sing out, right? But it's been able to own the archetype.
Yeah.
I missed that bit.
You should have worn the dress today.
I'm in my work uniform. So even this is my business outfit, my uniform. So this is how I'm like when I'm in this outfit, it's work time. And it's been actually really good implementing that, because I actually find I'm getting a lot done. But yeah, so if anyone ever needs a shogun costume, like I have a shogun who has a sword, like,
But you know what, it's interesting. It's kind of, even a lot of rock stars, you relate and talk about them. A lot of them are actually introverts, and they do actually get on stage and have to put on, and we all kind of have to do that. Even if we're somebody that sort of can enjoy the spotlight, to do what we do in business, you really have to be able to,
with your lip sync battle,
what your experience and what your knowledge is, and tell people, I know some shit, and I can do a thing or two,
Yeah. But that's so true. Like, I'm actually quite, believe it or not, you Quartz is going to laugh, I'm actually quite a shy, private person. Like, I'll go to a party and I'll be the one that sits out in the back room patting the cats, happy to talk to a couple of people. Lady Boss is laughing, like she gets it, right? So that unless I'm there with a purpose, like if I go to an event and I'm speaking, or I've made the decision to connect with people, I'm quite happy to sit back. But that rock star energy, and all you ladies for your lip sync battles, you should totally put on a whole new outfit and create your own rock star. If you're nervous or shy about it, put on a wig. The biggest thing, if you change your hair, that is one of the most powerful ways to be able to just step into a new role and really own that character. Because if you feel silly being yourself, doing the lip sync, like create all my characters, they have bios, they have names, they've got backstories, they've got all of this to add to the depth when you step in. Sorry, I get really excited. But I'm in my zone, right? So like I'm an authority on this, and like so I'm sharing.
Yeah, and this actually leads us to our next question. You're in the zone, your zone of genius. What is your zone of genius, Trudi? Like, what are you offering? What is the thing that people love? And where are you the most happiest? And
how do you really help people?
Well, I've done a fair bit of work around this on myself, and I suppose there's two things. So I've got like my personal and my professional zone of genius. And for me, my personal, and some of you are in some of the groups where you may have seen me dancing around in my fairy dress, where anything that puts me in my body, like the dancing and the performing, like personally, that's definitely my zone. And my only regret in life from a personal perspective is stepping away from competitive dancing, because that was definitely a personal zone of genius. Whereas more professionally, and when we go into the archetypes, my zone is, and it's going to sound really weird, and I have the full costume in my cupboard, is very much the cheerleader, supportive, like archetype of like helping people to be their best. And it's been a thing that I've always done, and it goes into that, I suppose, leadership as well, where it's, you know, I've always been like, I'm not a leader, but actually I am. So being able to support people is a huge part of what I do. And, you know, whether that's through coaching or helping people course create or share their message or whatever kind of space that is, it's something that I've really embraced probably only over the last few weeks, really, or the last month, really embraced it. That you guys are all right there?
Doing some proper here.
Don't worry about us.
No, that's
We've got sun in our eyes.
Going.
We're trying to listen.
I can push the table more that way.
Now I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, so it's just really because I have this ability to look at things. So most people are generally big picture or details focused people, whereas with everything that I've been doing over the last 6-7 years in my work has meant that I'm able to like step up and look down at the big picture with people, but then actually shift into that space where I can help them work on the steps to implement. So whatever that is. And I think that really actually with everything that I'm doing, that is my zone of genius. You give me, so like I do niching work with people, and for my niche, give me big picture thinkers every day to work with, because the people that come to me, and like I have this with clients a lot, they come to me and it's like, I want this thing up here at the end. This is the thing that I want to achieve, but I know there's like 20 steps to get there, but I can't figure out the steps. Yeah. So it's like, okay, let's get this big picture thing and just like, bam, reverse engineer it. And, you know, and for everyone that I'm working with at the moment, and this is all the whole niche stuff again, people are coming to me and they've got this big message or even a small message or whatever it is that they want to share. And they're like, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but they can't see all the steps. And that's the thing that I'm really, really excited about helping people with, because some of the stories that people have been sharing with me lately, like they bring tears to my eyes. Like so many amazing people that just think I'm just an ordinary person, but they have these extraordinary messages. And I've probably like skipped completely over the question now, but I get really excited about what I do.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, so that's after, and it's been a skill that I've developed. I'm not going to say I have this natural ability with all the work that, you know, creating programs and content and coaching, and, you know, we did a thing where we added up how many hours we'd sort of done in our area, and I've got at least 6,000 hours of presenting, facilitating, coaching and training and all of this stuff that goes in here. So four more 1,000 hours to go and I'll be at mastery level. That's the goal. But it just excites me to see people thriving and shining. And from where I was maybe a couple of years ago, I was punished for that. And it was the wrong, I was told that this is wrong to be this caring person and you need to be tough and you need to be assertive and you've got to be rah, rah, rah. So that all got shut down for quite a while, but now it's back. And now it's like, I can see lady bosses, like I see you all over Facebook supporting people, and it's who I am. Like, thank you for that acknowledgement, lady boss. But to me, it's like all of us, we don't have $1 million bank accounts and we don't have like yachts and ski chalets and stuff, but we're going to be the people that change the world.
Yeah.
People are with the bazillions of dollars, they're not doing a very good job. It's going to be us with our message, making small incremental changes to the world, our environment, the people around us, and creating that ripple on effect we're going to be the ones that are going to make the difference. Not the $1 million, I have all the media coverage people, because they're not doing a very good job of it at the moment.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, I've kind of gone on a tangent.
No, that was good.
If you could pick a couple of people, like in your mind, a couple of stories, what are the golden nuggets that you want to share with everyone about, you know, when you've got raving fans, like imagine you've got a whole bunch of raving fans that don't even know who you are, they're watching this. Why do people line up to work with you?
Okay.
What is the biggest value you offer to people?
Was a couple of things. So I generally, like, I'm working with people that are either discovering what their message is, or they know what their message is and it's how to get it out. So for the people that I'm currently working with or just about to start working with, they're at this space where they've got an idea. They know that their story has value. So I've got a lady who's going to sign up and work with me who she has a stutter. She's had a lot of trauma. She's been unwell. She's been told that, you know, she's sick, like she's never going to have a good quality of life. And we were talking and she was sharing her story, and she was thinking, I want to do this thing with a website. And I'm like, that's great. But what about this thing with you? And if we build this thing with you and develop you and get you shining and standing out online, then this other thing that you want to do, which also has massive value, is going to flow a lot easier. And just that strategy of being able to say, take the pieces of what she wants to achieve was huge for her. And also recognizing the power of her story and giving her permission to say, you know what, it's actually, I'm okay. And what I want to do is actually bigger than me, because a lot of people, it's hard to see beyond yourself sometimes. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is being able to help people. You know, a lot of the people that I've been talking to recently see beyond who they are, because one of her biggest fears is like, but what if I do get famous on the internet? Because, you know, hashtag a little famous on the internet here. That's my hashtag, by the way. But she was scared of that. And it's like giving people permission to shine. Like, for so many of the people that I've worked with, or I'm starting to work with, it's this fear of like, what if I do stand up and get counted? What if somebody does come onto my Facebook page and doesn't agree with what I have to say? And I'm like, that's great, because it shows that you're actually standing up for something and you're being visible and your message is getting out there. So for some people, it really is that permission to shine. And then for like a few people that I've worked with, you know, and for these people that aren't sure, you know, that transition of going from full-time work, building the list, you know, putting the practical steps in place, discovering your niche and putting all the content and the opt-ins and the tech stuff and creating the course or the medium for getting their message out. That's huge, because if you're a big picture thinker and you don't even know where to start, so that's been a key thing. And then for the people that are already in business, clear on who their niche is, once again, it's like exploring all those different mediums. Because for me, like, I do free trainings. I run them live. I'm good at that. But I don't expect everyone else to just do my thing in my system. And what happens a lot of times when people are working with coaches and trainers, and it's like, it's my way or the highway. But the difference with working with me is I've got a much more open approach. And because of the work I do with people around their niche, it's like, well, what's your niche going to like? How's your tribe going to respond to this? Because I've been in so many rigid environments where it's like, you're not following my process, so that means you're a failure, even when this process doesn't suit who I am as a person. Like running free trainings and running live webinars and events, some people will be like, that's death, never do that. But I'm like, well, that suits me. So everything that I do with all of my clients, it's just all tailored, because we're all different. Like, why not work to your strengths? And I think especially for women now, and I was working with a couple of male clients yesterday, and that hardcore, you must buy sausage marketing, as you know, one of my coaches calls it. It's like, no, women want a more connected approach, and working on that connected approach. And, you know, it might take you 6 months, 8 months, 12 months to build your tribe, but you've got the right people working with you. I don't expect everyone to work with me to go out there and be like, you know, film dancing videos and go crazy on the internet, or like post in a whole heap of different groups and do videos of themselves in their onesies. That's me. I'm happy to do that. But everyone has their own unique way about being visible and being seen online. And it's got to be what you're comfortable with, and it's got to be what your people are looking for. Because I had somebody message me and say, I think that's a little bit silly, you being in your onesie. It's not very professional. And I'm like, I don't do traditional corporate professional. I do real. I'm like, if I make a mistake, I'll tell you. I sent an email out to my list where I told people how much money I'd actually made over the last 6 months. And I was like, you know what? If people don't appreciate that honesty, they're not my people to work with. And I had heaps of people come back and go, I can't believe you shared that. I don't feel so bad about what I'm achieving in my business, because everyone's fed the line that if you don't have $1 million business, if you don't have a $10,000, $20,000 launch of your products, if you're this, you're a failure. And it's like, no, we're not. As long as now I'm getting my rant on. Like, get me started talking about those 7-figure launch coaches. But it's like, yes, you can have the dream, but you need the reality to move it into place. And so many people are buying the magic pill, quick fix, freaking thing that's never going to work for them, because they're attempting to implement somebody else's system. I'm like, here's foundations, take with them. There's no limits, no rules. There's no box. Here's the stuff. Just go and make your magic happen. I'll help you make your magic happen.
Yeah.
You know, I have a magician faculty. Every time she's done her magic trick 4 times, 1 time she got it right. She's not very good at magic, but she's has fun. But the magician is like, oh, wow, mesmerizing when you speak. So that's why we have magicians. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But yeah.
I have really loved listening to you, Trudi. It's actually weird that I've never actually spoken to you before, because we have spoken so many times, but you know, it's the good old.
And because I talk about you all the time, and so then it's like you feel like you probably.
Trudy, every time I call Kirsty on a Thursday morning, she hangs up on me.
That's right. She's
Trudy, Kirsty time. I've got my chocolate too.
Very good.
I would love to actually just ask you, you know, if you've got an offer that you were prepared to give to the Smart Chicks community, obviously, if you were even willing to give something even extra to the Smart Chicks members, that would be fantastic. So is there anything that you've kind of thought of?
Put together?
Look, I normally, you know, especially for people that have like first meeting me, might be like, she's a bit intense or she's a bit full on. I'm not sure if she's like going to be right, but I think she's got some gems of like little good nuggets there. I'm like, I don't do free anymore, because what I find is when people do free, most people don't really take on board the value. So I normally do, like for my list, I normally do a $97 offer for a session. So there's that, but I'm sort of thinking, well, I love the Smart Chicks community, and this community has just made me feel so welcome and so allowed to be who I am. So I'm going to do a $47 session offer for Smart Chicks.
Wowzers.
So a session generally goes 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what you need. I don't say you get 60 minutes, because if we get everything sorted in 45 minutes, then you're like, well, I've got 15 minutes. Well, you know, time is valuable. So, but you know, 45 to 60 minutes generally gives us a really good, a good whack at it, and we can talk about niche, we can talk about archetypes, we can talk about content, strategy for your business, sort of like if you've got a big picture thing in place, but you need some idea about some next steps to implement, we can do that. I had a lady contact me the other day and was talking to her about a course that I run about building online courses. And she was like, yeah, I want to do that. And I'm like, hang on, like you've just said to me you're doing this, 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 and this. I said, I'm not going to sell you my course. She was like, what? I'm like, you've got too much on. Like I can hear in your voice. I'm high auditory, so I can really pick things up in people's voices. I'm like, I can hear in your voice that you're already at breaking point. Let's work on what you've got. And so we put some plans and things in place for her for where she's at now to start implementing those things. I said, I'll be in touch with you in about 6 to 8 weeks when the course starts again, and then you'll be ready. But I can already see her online, like in some of the groups, she's implementing, she's put out the things that I've said. I'm just like, yes.
That's good, because then she's, being proactive and actually getting those things.
I'm not going to add to somebody's breaking point. And there's too many people out there who'll be like, oh, I want to make a sale. Sweet. It's not who I am. But if you need help with any of that kind of stuff, like I know a lot of people get stuck and go, I'm not creative. I don't know what to write content-wise to talk to my niche, or I think this is my niche, and, we can fine-tune it. I probably should be more specific, but I'm quite strategy, course, content, implementation, and mindset. My background is coaching. So if you've got everything in place and you're like, I can't get things started, I can probably help you find out why as well. Because that's a huge, huge thing.
So, it is. And so in a nutshell, for the Smart Chicks guys, $97 for the general community, they're going to be able to spend sort of 45 minutes to an hour with you, depending on how long it get through their questions and a bit of planning. But for the guys in the membership, they're actually going to get that for $47. Is that right?
That is correct.
Fabulous. Awesome. That's
now I'm going to have to put a bit of a shelf life on it because so for July, August, in 2016, I'll do that for that. After that, the price will have to go up because that is like really ridiculously. But I'm happy to do that for the Smart Chicks.
Right.
But I won't even be offering a $97 session to my list anymore. So I love this community, and if I can help you guys succeed and achieve, like that would be my biggest honor. So
awesome. Fabulous.
I actually just wanted to ask
already. Well, can't we keep talking?
And this is what I was going to say. If you want to just flip over to the gallery view, we've actually got Trudi filming this for us today because we had some tech issues on our end. If you can flip over to the gallery view, I actually just wanted to see if anyone wanted to ask a question. You're welcome to unmute yourself and ask, or you're welcome to just, type it in, whatever you want. We'll just give you like 30 seconds to just sort of let us know if you want to do that.
Well, you've got me. And now no one can ask any questions. And I'm totally awkward.
Jess.
Yeah.
Who? What?
Love it. Be cool.
Going once. Going twice.
Being sold off.
I'm just going to read our little, so we don't seem to have any questions.
Okay.
So we might just hit stop and then we can keep chatting.
Okay.